At a time when growing Chinese influence in the region has raised serious concerns, the recently elected Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, had made it clear why he does not prefer the Chinese investment method.
We welcome foreign direct investment from anywhere, certainly from China. But when it involves giving contracts to China, borrowing huge sums of money from China, and the contract goes to China, and China contractors prefer to use their own workers from China, use everything imported from China, and even the payment is not made here, it's made in China. So we gain nothing at all. That kind of contract is not something that I welcome. The other thing is that they develop whole cities, very sophisticated cities, very expensive cities, which Malaysians cannot buy. So they are going to bring foreigners to live in those cities.
The statement made by the Malaysian Prime Minister must be taken very seriously, especially by those who bring in Chinese investment to Sri Lanka. The reason being, Sri Lanka cannot allow substandard products flooding its economy. China's Belt and Road Initiative has been the subject of concern as a number of countries which received investment under the program have begun to grumble about falling prey to a Chinese debt trap. Chinese projects in Sri Lanka have drawn similar concerns. Last year, the strategic Hambantota port was given to the Chinese on a 99-year lease over the country's inability to repay the loans obtained for the $1.4 billion project. Speaking to Newsfirst recently, former advisor to the Finance Minister Malik Kader stressed on Sri Lankan concerns.
For instance, one good example is to take the Hambantota port. Recently, there was a conversion from debt to equity, right? A 1.5 billion conversion. And if Sri Lanka's total debt was in the range of 50 billion, if the 10% they're talking about is 4 billion, at the 1.5 billion, you're looking at about close to about 6 billion. So that's about a 15%. So there are much more than this which is there. So this 10% which has been mentioned by China is, I think, inaccurate.
What sort of investments should a country attract? Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, in his interview in June, made it clear.
And we welcome investment, foreign investment from any country, so long as they bring in the capital, they bring in the technology, they set up plants here, and they employ Malaysians from workers to engineers, and they produce goods for the domestic market and for export. That we welcome, coming from anywhere.
It must be noted that it is totally unacceptable that measures have been taken to strike a blow on local employment by cutting out the cess tax and putting the local economy at risk.